Hey, it's Erica from Radar Road Warriors, and my husband Steve is going out of town and the temps are dropping below freezing. And since he's the one who always goes outside and undoes the water and makes sure the propane's running, I wanted to make sure I know how to do it before he goes to make sure I'm not freezing at night. I just hit 10,000 steps Fitbit. Woohoo! So we're going to film this video to show you how to do it, and we have a 2020 Open Range 371 MBH.
We're going to start by looking at the propane, how to change out one of the tanks. We recently had an issue with our furnace. We ran it last night when it was cold. Everything seems to be good, but I want to make sure we had nice, good, full propane tanks before I took off. I'm going to show you how to change the tanks out, so if you need to swap one out if it runs out, you can get back to heating the RV. With our open range, we have 3 different tanks. They're all 20 pounders, so you can interchange them at any position, whether storage position or in the use position. We have a little lever you slide over with your thumb, pulls the tray out, let go of the lever, it will lock at the end so you can't pull the whole tray out. If you held on to that lever, you can pull the whole tray out, it'll end up on your feet, which you do not want that. So we'll make sure the tray is locked, not going to fall out. I took the tank this morning, refilled it, and this one we slide the tank into its position. There's a little bar that goes across both of them. Kind of falls in place. You'll see little grooves down here. That way you tighten down the bolt on the top. And it locks onto the tanks. Just hand tight is all you need. And then we take the hose, and it's righty-tighty, lefty-loosey on these ones. You go until it's hand tight on this also. It pretty much stops at the end. Then you will open up the valve all the way until it stops. You don't have to turn it hard either way. It goes easy when it opens and closes. This is the regulator and transfer switch for the propane tanks. The arrow on this little black lever is the tank it is pulling off of first. I always have the outside tank pulling off of first unless I empty it out and I switch it to the other one. So if I switch this over here, now it's going to pull off of this propane tank when the furnace runs. If this tank runs out, it'll automatically switch over to the inside tank. And if I needed to take the tank out, if it emptied out, let's say this tank is now empty, I will shut the valve. This one stays on the whole time. I turn this lever over there. When this tank is out, you'll see in this little sight glass in the front, that'll be red in there. That means this tank ran out and it switched over. We'll do the same thing reverse order. We will undo the propane line, undo the crank on the top. You have to put it pretty much all the way till it comes off. You can take it off if you want to, if you have a taller tank and it wants to fight you. Then pick the little bar up, tip the tank a little bit. And this is set to, the arrow is pointing towards this tank. The tank is on. We can close this. Close everything up. Leave it just like that if we want to go refill this tank. Or if you were just swapping a tank out, take the empty one out, put the new one in, just like I showed you the first time. When it's going to get cold at nighttime and freeze outside, we need to make sure all the water stays contained inside the RV so none of the hoses can freeze outside. First, we need to make sure we have water inside the fresh tank so we can operate inside the RV. 2, we need to unhook the freshwater hose so it doesn't freeze. And 3, make sure all your gray tank valves are closed. Showing you how to fill the freshwater. We currently have city water hooked up. Everything is operational like it is warm in the summertime outside. I use the outdoor shower to relieve the pressure out of the system before we switch any of the valves on our valving system. We have a little valve down here. We can turn this off to turn the water off to the RV. Open the outdoor shower. Squeeze the trigger until the pressure drops off. That's good enough. Now on our valves in here, we'll turn these, always turn them slow. Turn them so they look like the picture of tank fill down here. We will turn the valve back on. Now our freshwater tank is filling. You can watch inside on the monitor when the light turns full, you're full of water. If you forget, water starts coming out the bottom of the RV, out the vent, that's okay, you'll be fine. Now that the fresh tank is full, we need to shut off the water filling the tank and put our valving system back to pump/city. So we'll turn the little water valve off down here, turns water off to the RV. Put your valving system back to the configuration that shows pump/city. After that, unhook the water hose and put it away. And third, you need to make sure any gray tank valves are closed if you had them open. On a 371, we have 2 gray tanks. One is up here by the main connections, the other one's down there by the hose. Now, no water will be in our hose and freeze overnight, so you don't have any backups. You are all set to be camping overnight when it starts freezing.
It's getting cold out here. Here's a pro tip for you. If you are not the one that hooks everything up on the outside, make sure you film it next time you have the opportunity. So next time you're going to a campground and you have a whole bunch of time, get your phone out, film the process. I have all the videos saved on my phone and I clipped them together. And then I also have my own private playlist that I've uploaded to YouTube so I can see them there. That way, if something happens to Steve, he's not around and I need to do the stuff, I have a reference. And make sure during the videos you ask questions. No one's ever gonna see these videos, just you guys. So I asked a whole bunch of questions. So I know that's gonna come up again and I'm gonna have that question later when I'm doing it by myself, so that way you have the answers. And if you got value from this video, please give it a thumbs up. That's how other people find it, so they can make sure that they're not freezing at night too.